How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Isn't it funny how no matter what you do for the minorities of this country, if it's President Bush is involved, it never counts, it never means anything, it's always weightless and meaningless. And Bush has got a little percentage of the black vote in America, for instance, or the Jewish vote for that matter, as has ever gone to any Republican, even though he's done more for the Jews and Israel than any Jewish president, American president, even no matter where. The Prime Minister of Israel has never been as much on the side of the Jews as Bush has been throughout his presidency. But somehow it doesn't count to any Jew, and they're not interested. They don't give him one extra vote. And the same thing is happening with the black people, but even worse. No matter what he does for them, all they know is that he stinks, he's no good, they hate him, they have contempt for him, they get nauseous when his name is mentioned. To them, they would rather puke than see his name on television or watch him any place on the site. To them, there's nothing lower than Bush. Show them a diarrhea, it's nothing compared to Bush. There's nothing. Any disease on earth, gonorrhea, name any disease, it's nothing like Bush. As soon as you mention his name, Jews are only getting nauseous a little, and black people want to throw up altogether. Why? Because he's done everything for them any president has ever done, and 10 times more. Clinton, they love. What has Clinton done for the black people? Very, very little. Even as a matter for AIDS, as an example. He commissioned up somehow about $1 billion to fight AIDS in the African countries. You know what Bush did? He gave $15 billion for AIDS. In other words, 15 times as much. How far do you have to travel to hear one word like that from any black person? As a matter of fact, if a black person mentions it, like Bill Cosby, who might say a kind word about Bush, the whole black community and all the headliners, like all the main bosses and the main leaders of the black community, call him a lowlife, a fraud, and that he's a caterer to the white people and he's an enemy to the black people. As far as he's concerned, they get nauseous from him almost as much as they get nauseous from Bush, just because he said a kind word or any true word about what Bush has ever done for them. Like right now, there was a debate aimed at the black audience. And everybody is furious that four of the mainline Republicans somehow did not attend the debate. They should have been there pleading for the Republican vote. From who? From the black people who wouldn't vote for them no matter what. Katrina is a perfect example. More money was given for Katrina by Bush and the Republican Party than anybody for all the hurricanes, floods, and disasters put together for the last 10 years. Do you hear one kind word about Bush about it? You hear blame about him. Somehow he was prejudiced, he was hateful, and he was disgusting, even though he had nothing to do with the flood, but they blame him for it. The governor and the mayor of that city did nothing about the flood. They laid there like dead horses when he even asked them about the flood. They let everything go wrong, and they couldn't care less. Maybe Bush is somewhat to blame. He could have been more efficient. But he was prejudiced. He was hateful. Does a prejudiced, hateful person give you 10 times as much money for your flood than all the Jewish and American and white people floods put together? Is there anything he could do that's right? Should Republicans come around pleading for the vote of the black people who wouldn't recognize one thing he ever does for you? If every time I came to you, I gave you presents of all kinds that nobody ever gave you before. Here's a car, here's a building, here's a house, here's money for your children, here's new schools, here's everything you want for nothing. And all I get from you is contempt and hate. What do you deserve my attention? For what reason? Am I supposed to be talking about nothing, pleading with people who hate my guts? People talk about white prejudice. That's all they talk about is white racism. There's such a thing as prejudice from the black people. 10 times more prejudice towards the Republicans and Bush than ever existed from the white people towards the blacks. If they can't get rid of their own prejudice, they should stop talking about prejudice. They are 10 times more prejudiced towards him and Republicans than ever existed at any time in this country. And they don't deserve his attention. He's given it to them anyway, he'll give them help anyway, and deserve the same equality that anybody else. But do you deserve special attention? I could come to you for a vote who told me in advance that no matter what I did, it stinks, and it's weightless, and it's hopeless, and you want me to drop dead on the way home? You deserve presents from me? You ought to be ashamed of yourselves.